The 9 Mornings of Love. Vivian adjusted her alarm to 3 a.m., her heart set on completing the Simbang Gabi this year. For the past 3 years, she had started strong, but the chilly dawns and her love for sleep always got the better of her. Halfway through, "Not this time," she vowed. She was determined. Her fervent prayer was simple, yet deeply personal: to meet the man she would marry within 2 years. At 4 a.m. sharp, she found herself in the flickering glow of lanterns at the churchyard, joining a congregation of sleepy yet hopeful souls, the buttery smell of freshly steamed puto bongbong and bibingka in the air, mingling with the soft murmurs of prayers. Vivian closed her eyes and whispered her plea, "Lord, this time please." Meanwhile, Anthony was reluctantly tagging along with his grandmother, Lola Nita. She had insisted on completing the Simbang Gabi, despite her frail health, and Anthony couldn't say no to her. On the first day, he sat slouched in the pew, yawning between prayers and secretly wishing he were still in bed. But something shifted by the third dawn. The solemnity of the Mass, the lilting hymns, and the camaraderie of the people stirred a warmth in his chest. He even began to look forward to it, not that he'd admit it. On the 5th morning, as the Mass ended and the crowd spilled into the churchyard, Vivian stood in line to buy bibingka and puto bongbong. The rice cakes were her little reward for dragging herself out of bed each day. As she sipped the complimentary tea, savoring the saltiness of the cheese and salted egg of her special bibingka, she noticed Anthony standing nearby, awkwardly balancing 2 plates of bibingka and trying not to spill the tea his grandmother had insisted he carry. Their eyes met, and Vivian couldn't help but chuckle. "Need a hand?" she offered, stepping closer. Anthony grinned sheepishly. "If you don't mind saving a guy from public embarrassment, then yes." They shared a laugh, and before long, Vivian was helping him carry the plates back to a nearby bench, where Lola Nita sat. "Thank you," Lola Nita said with a kind smile. "My grandson here isn't much of a morning person, but I'm glad he's finally catching the Christmas spirit." As they chatted, Anthony learned about Vivian's determination to complete the 9 masses. In turn, Vivian discovered Anthony's deep love for his grandmother, which had motivated him to attend Simbang Gabi, despite his initial reluctance. The next mornings felt different. Anthony started looking for Vivian in the crowd, and she in turn found herself hoping he'd be there. After each Mass, they'd linger over bibingka and tea, their conversations growing more lively and meaningful with each passing day. By the 9th morning, as the final Simbang Gabi Mass ended and the first light of Christmas Eve broke over the horizon, Vivian stood beside Anthony, her heart full. She had completed the novena for the first time, but more than that, she realized her prayer might already be starting to come true. Anthony turned to her, his eyes warm. "So, do you think prayers work?" Vivian smiled, her cheeks flushing. "I think sometimes they work in ways we don't expect." 2 years later, under the same glowing lanterns that had lit their first meeting, Vivian and Anthony stood before the altar, exchanging vows. It turned out some prayers don't need 9 mornings. They just need the right moment and the right person to answer them. Subscribe for daily uplifting stories, and let's fill each day with positivity and warmth. Wishing you the happiest holidays.